here with Shaun Lally, Muhlenberg wrestling coach, in the middle of the NWCA coaches meeting. Coach, can you tell me a little bit about the meeting and what it's like to have that many guys with wrestling coaches in the same room at one time?
Yeah, well, first, thank you for having me, and thank all our lucky stars that we're finally able to do this, and hopefully it works out. All these coaches here, best coaches in the country, Division One, Division Two, Division Three, NAIA, JUCO club. Everybody convenes down here in Florida. It's a good place to bring your family and kids because a lot of us coaches make a lot of sacrifices and are missing out throughout the year. So it's a good time sometimes the other families get together as well. And it's no different than your local wrestling team, high school or college. It's a family. So our wrestling family is here in Daytona and all as well.
So I've seen the agenda, a lot of stuff on the topic, especially geared towards different people at different levels. What are some of the big things that you're looking forward to this year? People that you're looking forward to hearing, and people you're interested in just talking to, kind of away from the formal organization.
Yeah, well, anytime there's keynote speakers and they're bringing in people that might not be a wrestling coach and they might have an outside story, I'm always looking forward to that because these are people that, if you try to bring them into your program, your community, your neighborhood for anything, it would cost a lot of money. So these are people that, are hard to access, so try to pick their brain and listen to everything they say, and then of course meet with them afterwards. As far as the individual coaches sessions and stuff like that, I can't get enough of that. I wish there were more of those. Obviously, there's a lot to get through down here, but I just love learning. I love listening to different people who are successful. There's just so many good people down here to learn from to become a better coach.
How many years have you been going to this?
This will be my 6th year in a row.
Now, same amount of learning every time, or is it something different?
I remember, I've been thinking of doing a lot of reflection on this one. Thinking back to the first one that I was here, I see a lot of young coaches in here for the Leadership Academy, and I've been through all three, the FCA, the traditional, and the women's. I think I'm actually one of the only coaches to have really done that, to go through all three of those. And I see how hungry a lot of these guys are and how much they're learning. I remember back that fire that I had, and fire still burns, but it's a little different. They don't know the face, and you're just trying to shake as many hands as you can and advance your program and do what you can to get better and to network. And we've got to a point where I don't think there's anybody here that I don't know or doesn't know me. Hopefully for good reason. I could be annoying sometimes, but again, I'm just trying to be the best. I'm just trying to learn. I'm trying to always get better at my craft. And that there are coaches here that are doing the same thing. They might have 20 years in the sport, and they're still trying to get better at their craft, and that's what I admire most about this weekend. It's one of my favorite weekends of the year.
It's great to feed that, because it's not always easy as a leader to feed your own competitive desire and education. Is there anybody you can single out, or a couple people that have mentored you along the way, whether it's at the meeting or in other ways? I know that you're always at Lehigh at the matches. I don't know.
Yeah, I love Lehigh guys. Actually, just got done with Pat Santoro session. He did technique tonight. Tomorrow's going to be Chris Boner from South Dakota State University. And I'm talking to my buddies who are coming from Michigan and from all parts of the country. And I'm like, hey, Pat's 10, 15 minutes down the road. I see Pat all the time. I can learn stuff from Pat all the time. And I was at Becca, and Randy Cruz was doing the same stuff that he was teaching. And I'm like, nudging my friend saying, hey, is that any coincidence? But even so, with him being 10, 15 minutes down the road, I'm watching intently and making sure I'm paying attention to all the details. Pat's one of the best coaches in the country, so he's the one that I like to learn from. Also keeping it local, and at the high school level, Dave Crowell, he's a horse down here. He does a lot of sessions lot of PowerPoints. He has a lot of good stuff going on, and obviously he's winning at Easton and Wilson and now Nazareth, and there's just no end to the success that he's had in this sport. But anybody that will give me at least 2 minutes of their time is somebody that's good enough for me. But to answer for this question, the last question, there were the times in year 3 and year 4 where I started to say to myself, hey man, sometimes it feels like it's the same topic or the same speaker. What am I going to learn this year? I've been here 3 years. I've been here 4 years. And every single year now I know better. You can't say that because you will come away from here better and you will learn a lot more.
Now, fans have gotten a few updated college rules. We know that the national duels are not going to happen this year, or at least it doesn't sound like they're going to happen. Is there anything else that's going on down there that a wrestling fan would be interested in, as far as coaches leaning in one direction or another?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that is happening and that I don't know if I can tell you or not. I have to ask for permission first.
It's just between you and me.
Look, definitely we're all trying to improve our sport. We're trying to, improve the experience. We're trying to improve everything for the student athlete. There's safety, experience. We're trying to grow wrestling. We're trying to win in wrestling. There's so many good qualities that come along with this sport. So, women's wrestling, securing emerging NCAA status, that's big. Our Blue Ribbon task force to make sure that, our high school participation stays at a good level and start turning around. And all your programs, making sure that we have strong leadership from our coaches, our assistant coaches who go on to become head coaches, because we're growing, especially at the D3 level and D2 and some of the other levels. More programs are being added, so there's plenty of opportunities for some of these young guys to become head coaches. So there are a lot of good things, but there's always something that we're up against and that we're tackling something new. And we're not going to quit now, so we're just going to keep doing the best that we can in this league.
Can you tell me what your opinion is? So D3 has added, I think, the most programs over the last 15 years. Could you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
I can hear you.
Is it a matter of money to create a D1 program? Is it Title IX? What is your opinion?
Well, I think Division I, a lot of it, obviously Title IX is the big thing that everybody wants to talk about and use, and whether or not that's part of the equation or not. I think what matters more at D1 is conference affiliation. So you don't see a wrestling program at any of the SEC schools.
Yeah.
So you're not going to add one, even if you had one person to add an SEC school, who are they going to wrestle on all of a sudden? They're going to be traveling all over the country. So, the conferences are strong and they stick together, and at that level, unfortunately, or fortunately, the way that you look at it, because a lot of us, benefit from football and basketball because of the revenues that they bring in. The rest of the sports at that level are probably not generating revenue. So, the other sports actually benefit from those sports, but at the same time, some people might look at that as the hindrance in some of those other conferences. We're trying to add as many as we can, but Division III, we're absolutely adding all the time. I can't even keep up with it. And that's some of the issues that we're going to find out our fate tomorrow with Division III. What's our region going to look like going forward? How many schools going to be added? Is Ithaca going to come in? Or half of the conference teams in Centennial going to go south, and we stay put, and some other teams go north. So we will find out our fate tomorrow, and then from there we can actually finally, finish our schedule for Muhlenberg, because that's important to know who we're going to be in a conference with. So we want to make sure that we're scheduling out of conference, out of region, in region, appropriately, so that at the end of the year we're set up for success.
Interesting, you were talking about the conference affiliation. Fresno State told me that was one of the hardest parts of reconstituting the program. So who is deciding your new region? Is that a group of coaches, or is it just a board?
Well, at the end of the day, the NCAA has final say of what's going to happen. But what they've let us know through this whole process, through a panel of 6 people who are from all over the country in different positions, either head coaches, athletic directors, retired coaches, they are the ones that have drafted the plan to relay to the NCAA. Now, past those 6 people, there's another 6 people who are supposed to be talking to the coaches and getting our input and what do we feel or what do we think about traveling here or there, this team coming in and that team going out. And obviously, everybody wants to posture for position, just like wrestling. You don't want to be getting run out of bounds. You want to maintain center and have a good position. But at the end of the day, these 6 people are going to give the NCAA the best recommendation they believe according to the Coaches Association. And then the NCAA can say, hey, you know what, we're going to accept that, or they can totally do something entirely different, and we won't know until tomorrow, probably around 2:30.
Okay, all right. Tomorrow is the last full day, or tomorrow half? Oh, go ahead. Say that again.
Tomorrow's the last full day, and this Sunday.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about the convention before we go to Muhlenberg?
Jonathan Koch, unbelievable speaker. He's like there's been less than 100 people in the world that have had a hand transplant, and he was just an average wrestler from Pennsylvania who is a big LA movie person, asylum entertainer. He's the president and the CFO, CEO, or he's pretty there. Just look him up. Jonathan Koch. He has a transplanted hand, and he went through a lot of stuff, man, to get to where he's at. And if it wasn't for wrestling, he probably wouldn't have made it. He said.
Saves lives around the world, man. Greatest sport on the planet. Well,
Sir.
Let's shift up to Pennsylvania, Muhlenberg Wrestling, the Mules. Can you give me a little bit of a program update? We haven't chatted about your program on the record probably in over a year. We've talked a little bit off record, a lot of stuff going on there. Where do you want to start?
Yeah. Well, hey, nothing's changed. The hashtag is the Montreal State Mules Rising. Our trajectory is serious. It's real. It's definitely going, up. All you have to do is look at the statistics, look around. You can see it, you can smell it, you can taste it, you can feel it. It's coming. It's exciting. I can't wait for November. I can't even wait for October. I can't even wait for school to start. And believe it or not, all of this stuff is going to start happening really soon. In 2 weeks, we host a Super 32 tournament. This coming year, we had no one graduate. We're bringing in 7 new mules, which is exciting. They're coming from different states and different backgrounds, and they're all bringing a different dynamic. They're also covering some weights that we definitely needed some help at. The roster is going to be around 28. I believe it should be 28 wrestlers this year, which is exciting. And nobody graduated, like I said, and this year there's only going to be 3 freshmen or 3 seniors. So, it's going to be exciting.
Young team. Last year, this year, a lot of leadership necessary, probably from the coaching staff. Why are these guys picking you? Is it your enthusiasm? Is it the facility? The coaching staff? Because it's a competitive market out there.
Well, I mean, picking. I mean, there's a lot going on. I mean, if you're looking at Muhlenberg, you're obviously multi-dimensional person.
Yep.
You have the academics behind you, and you understand what we're doing here and where we're going and where our trajectory is. So, it's always about where are you now in this process, and what is this program going to look like when you're a senior, when you're a freshman coming in here, what that 4-year period is supposed to look like and going to look like, and how you're going to play a part in that whole thing, and where you're going to be as an individual and where we're going to be together on this journey. So I think it's exciting that people see and feel the energy. They see where we work, where we are now. They can clearly see where we're going. I don't think that there's any, you know, it's clear where we want to go and what we want to do. So that's refreshing for a lot of people. I think, obviously the education is top notch. I mean, if you're somebody that's going to go into business or pre-med or pre-law, finance, amongst a lot of our other majors, our network is strong. Our alumni are all over. And one thing that I'm definitely talking about now to our recruits, we would not even get to our alumni before, one of our kids' parents might be given an opportunity because, everybody from every corner of this program is bringing a different dynamic that we have parents that are connected in different, sectors, whether it's law or accounting or the medical field or real estate. So it's exciting when you're growing and you're expanding. The opportunities are endless for anybody right now here. And, we have a good schedule. We belong to the Centennial Conference. It's a prestigious conference as far as academics, strong for wrestling. We're going to place top 4 this year in the conference and make our mark and start to really do some big things and have a couple conference champions. We haven't had one since 2009. We're looking to get people out to Cleveland this year. I think we can have at least 4 guys get out there. If everything goes forward, maybe more. The sky's the limit with these guys because of the youth. And, again, back to the schedule. We have national travel. We go to the Citrus Open. We're wrestling at the NYAC this year. And then at home, we're doing some pretty cool things. Like, we're going to wrestle on stage in the theater on Friday night, have a couple other Friday night matches, make tools more important, and continue to wrestle a lot of top 25 teams like we have in the past.
You started a program at Stony Brook. You took over a program here at Muhlenberg that was they wanted to develop and grow. It's not been an easy path necessarily. Where does your passion come from? How do you continue to feed it besides going to hang out with other coaches? Could you hear me?
Lightweight, all right? So, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was frozen for a second. Go ahead.
So what I was saying was, look, my whole life I've been a lightweight, and so I've always been one of the first one up. All right, somebody that's setting the tone, setting the example, starting us off on a good note or a bad note, and the goal is to always do that on a good step forward. And I just I don't know any way to do it but being relentless, and the passion just burns every day in and day out. I want to keep going because people feed that passion, whether it's my wrestlers showing me that they actually learned something that we taught them, or applying leadership skills, or our parents calling and saying, hey, I've seen this biggest change with my son and it's a big deal. And our alumni reaching out that maybe we haven't heard from them in year 1 or we didn't hear from them in year 2. And then all of a sudden now, more and more our alumni are coming out of the woodwork and supporting, and it's just been unbelievable. Our administration has been so supportive, and trying to, make them happy is always the goal. And I think they are. And even if they are, I have to always operate as if, I'm not making all of these different groups happy, and trying to do the best that I can. And, I came from good coaches and good bloodlines, so I'm just trying to implement those things and then all of this new stuff that I'm learning day in and day out.
I know that the administration, maybe the leadership, you can correct me if I'm wrong, changed.
Okay, we're on short time here.
Short time.
We're gonna take over this.
All right.
This backdrop here soon. So
anything else? So I know you've added a coach. Can you tell me a little bit about your staff and some of the guys on your team that fans should be watching this year?
Some of the guys on our team. Well, how about the 3 guys that are going to be seniors this year? That when I got here they were freshmen. and it's just been unbelievable how much that they've grown and helping be a part of that development. Um, it's been one of the greatest things that I've ever been a part of in my life, and to be part of a full 4-year cycle in somebody's student athlete experience has been awesome. And I really look forward to giving these guys the best experience this year and enjoying every last minute with them.
You getting the time to go, or do I have one more question about staff?
Yeah, they're I think they're going to do a raffle and,
Okay.
and make a couple other announcements. And somebody just, I think the Hofstra head coach just handed me an All-American award for one of our neighbors, Darren Cruz, at Lehigh University. That's awesome. First place, look at that, national champ.
He was a national
11
champ.
award.
Right? Is he? Did you say he's transferring to Muhlenberg? No, just kidding.
So, hey, one other big thing that I just need to let you know before we go is our staffing. We brought in two-time All-American Sonny Boy Blanco from Washington and Jefferson. He wrestled high school in New Jersey, so he's going to be a big part of that rise that we continue to talk about, and he's going to be a big part of the development for our boys this year, and I'm looking forward to working with him.
That room right through there is empty.
Okay, Shaun, thanks for taking the time.
I'm getting the hook here.
All right.
So.
Take care. I'll see you soon.
All right, Mike, I appreciate you. Thank you. Keep
Thanks.
up all the good work that you do for the sport.
Thank you.